and welcome to Colin's Time to Bake. First bake of the year, and it's Scottish. Woo! Robert Burns Night is just around the corner on Monday the 25th of January, so I thought I would go back to my roots and make haggis, neeps and tatties for the night, but blend it with a little bit of my Northern English lifestyle. Gonna make some haggis parcels that resemble a little bit like a pasty. What a cultural blend, eh? Anyway, I've got my kilt on, got my apron on, and let's get cracking. This recipe can be super simple depending on how you want to make it. The simple way to make some pastry is to buy some, if you don't want to buy it. Here's a simple way to make some pastry. Be sure to use chilled butter, and if need be, freeze it for a few minutes till it's rock hard. You need about 230 grams of butter or vegan alternative, and 340 grams of plain flour. Sieve the flour into a bowl and then grate your cold butter into the flour. Now, using a knife, cut and slice, mix and stir all of the butter until it's fully incorporated into the flour. You may need to use your hands for the last bit, just to pull it together into a ball. Once you've got a sturdy ball of pastry, pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes. Now, if you're using pre-made haggis from the supermarket, read the instructions on how to eat it up and do so accordingly. If you're vegetarian or vegan, then follow along this recipe now to make an animal-free haggis. This recipe is also available on my website free of charge, so go check that out and then come back for the video walkthrough. I'll wait. Hi, welcome back. Take one medium red onion, dice into tiny cubes, and one large carrot and dice into tiny slices. 3 close-cup mushrooms, again diced. Place to one side. Now take one vegetable stock cube and add 300 milliliters of boiling water. You'll need to take the water from 400 milliliters of Bardlotti beans, which is usually about 1 can, and also add the water from a 400 milliliter can of green lentils, which is usually about the same size as the regular can. This should bring it to around 500 milliliters. If not, just add more hot water and let the stock dissolve and stew for a bit. Pre-mix your spices. You need half a teaspoon of allspice, 2 tablespoons of cracked black pepper, a teaspoon of ground pepper, a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and a half a tablespoon of thyme. Now you can either buy 50 grams of pre-chopped cashews or chop them using a food processor, and you'll also need 50 grams of chopped hazelnuts as well. In a large pan, add the vegetables and then the Bardlotti beans and the lentils. Pour in the majority of the stock and let simmer on a medium heat for 3 minutes. Stir this occasionally. Add the nuts, and then add 200 grams of oatmeal. The mixture may suddenly dry out, so add the rest of your stock mix so the consistency becomes a little bit looser, and you can stir again. Add your spice mix and stir it until all the water has gone. Now, take a potato masher and mash it up until it becomes what I like to call stodgy haggis mess. Full recipe is available free of charge on my website if you need another reference. Preheat your oven to 200 degrees. Take the pastry ball out of the fridge. Roll out your pastry as large a circle as you can get, making sure it's about 3mm thick. Then taking 10cm cookie cutters, cut out as many circles as you can. This recipe should make about 12 to 15. Now using a tablespoon measure, scoop some haggis, vegan or non, into the centre of the pastry. Then fold over in half and then squeeze the edges together. Using a fork, press around the edge for a super fun crimped look on both sides. Isn't it cool? Place onto a baking tray. Once you've filled all the cases, use an egg wash to coat the top of the pastry. If you're vegan, use some sweetened soy milk or unsweetened with a teaspoon of sugar, which should brown just exactly the same. Put it into the oven for 30 to 40 minutes until the tops have browned and the pastry is done. Your haggis was already cooked accordingly, so you won't die, which is nice. While this is in the oven, take some potatoes and make some mash. Then get a turnip or neep and a carrot and boil together to make some turnip and carrot mash. I have a recipe for some whiskey glaze on my website, so if you wish to make a tart boozy sauce to go alongside it, click here. Or if you're on your mobile, links below. Serve your parcels along with your mash, neeps and whiskey glaze if you desire. Get a glass of whiskey or apple juice for aesthetic purposes. Then Instagram it. Tag me at Colin Starfish and enjoy a traditional Burns Night meal with a Northern English twist. Again, the recipe for the parcels, whiskey glaze and vegan haggis is on my website. Don't forget to tag me in any pictures of your meals from Burns Night using @ColinStarfish or any of the social media. My name is Colin, this is Colin's Time to Bake. Thank you very much and I'll see you soon. That sexy pair of legs there. Whee!